Shalom aloha, fellow breathers. I'm here with you in flesh, spirit, and YouTube cyberspace technologies. I ask you all to go and check out my Telegram channel. I've been posting regularly to that part of the world. Have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. My frequency has actually attracted a giant marine animal. I hope you can see that. So he actually wants to attack me, so I'm actually going to be backing up. But absolutely beautiful. Have a look at that. A giant male, ready to strike. An absolute blessing. So, ladies and gentlemen, check out my Telegram stream, and I hope you enjoy it. Subscribe so that you can be notified when I upload there. But today I want to get back to my roots, YouTube, and I just want to give everybody a blessing and a breath and an aloha. And I've got so many things that I want to talk about, but right now I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been breathing with me, and thank you to everybody that has purchased a jar of anal breath. They've been really successful, and I can only imagine that in such unforgiving times like the times we're in, you know, the fruitfulness and the help of anal breath, it's really undescribable, isn't it? There is one person, and if you're watching, you're from Norway, you've purchased a jar of anal breath, and I know it hasn't come yet, but I ask you to just please forgive me and bear with me. That anal breath jar is on its way. Unfortunately, Etsy removed my store because they're demonic and they don't want people to be enlightened with anal breath. They also removed my do-it-yourself scrotum removal kit because they want everybody to be fapulating. And obviously, scrotum removal kits, well, it stops fapulation in its tracks, doesn't it? But nonetheless, please know that my anal breath is currently on its way, and I haven't forgotten about you. And in fact, I'll be sending you a free jar of bungee nuggets completely for free. Breath-Aryan. So one thing I do want to say in this video before I wrap it up is a warning, and I want you all to heed this warning. And it's a warning in regard to anal breath usage. So, a friend of mine came to me and they said, "Breath, my cat is sick and it needs healing." And I said, "Well, what's wrong with your cat?" And he said, "My cat has autism. You know, it's on the spectrum." So I went and I evaluated this cat. If you don't know, I'm also an animal whisperer, have been all my life. So I was able to have deep, retrospective, telekinetic conversations with his cat. And his cat wasn't a full-blown autist, actually. If you think about the spectrum, number 1 being, say, Tourette's, and number 10 being hamburgers, sorry, Asperger's, the cat was somewhere in the middle, you know, on the spectrum, but there's definitely hope. And I said to my friend, "Look, I don't want to give this cat an anal breath. It might be a little bit too much for him, for her, sorry." And he said, "No, I want you to do it." And I said, "All right." So I prepared 15 minutes. I evacuated the oxygen from my bowels into this mason jar. I guess it was a methane jar once I'd finished with it. And then we gave the cat just a slight dosage. You know, we just cracked the lid on the mason jar ever so slightly. And the cat took one feline inhalant, like this, and the cat went to sleep. For good! It's not dead. I don't want to use that word. Even though its corpse is rigid, stiff and cold, its consciousness has actually been projected to the 5th dimension. And if you know anything about the fifth dimension and feline species, that's where Anubis and other ancient Egyptian feline deities reside. So it's actually had a big upgrade, and that's where it resides. However, the owner of the cat, my friend, he's beside himself. He didn't have very many human interactive friends, no sexual partners or anything like that. So his cat was the closest thing he had, and perhaps that was the reason for the cat's autism. I'm not here to make any judgments, but bestiality is fucked, and if I did catch him in such an act, I would tie him down and deliver him a dosage of anal breath so high that judgment would be handed down upon his mortal soul. However, I don't know, and I'm not going to make any claims. In saying that, please do not give any of my anal breath to domesticated fowl, cats, dogs, goats, and any of the sort alike. If you value their company and you don't want to send their mind to the 17th dimension, then refrain from doing so. What I will say is, though, on a more positive note, if you want to get rid of vermin, household vermin, mice, rats, cockroaches, and of the sort, anal breath will do a fantastic job of purifying the home from these things. So, for example, all you need to do is find the area that's contaminated with vermin, take the jar of anal breath, and just crack the lid very slightly. And what will happen then is, through a process known as diffusion, which is basically something of a high concentration gradient flowing over to an area of a lower concentration gradient. In this case, it would be the high vibrational density of my anal breath molecules flowing outward into the room, which is of a low vibration. You see, vermin only manifest when there's low vibrational spaces. So think about a garbage facility where there's nothing but trash and human feces everywhere. A very low vibration, and what happens? Well, you get rats, don't you? So when you've got one of these lower vibrational areas, perhaps it's a putrid bedroom where somebody's just been fabulating themselves into oblivion. Well, just go in there with a jar of anal breath, crack the lid ever so slightly, and all that low vibrational vermin in the room will cease to exist. Hopefully the fabulator's not in the room either if they're a family member or something like that, because they too are at the risk of spontaneously combusting. So apart from that, everything is good on our front. Have another look around where we are. I've been walking for about 5 days, and I will begin my anal breathing practices again very shortly. I'll be filling up those jars, and if you want one, you've got to message me through either Instagram or perhaps send me an email. You can find those in the description link below as well. It all has to be private, unfortunately. We're going back to our roots. If satanic corporations like Etsy want to destroy the free market, well, we'll keep fighting the good fight, and we'll make sure that anal breath distribution is done privately through trusted channels such as you and I. I appreciate your love, support. Please hit the like button. Please go and check out my Telegram channel. Perhaps purchase an NFT, or just have a breath on me. Shalom, namaste, and aloha.